I'm so bad at intros. I want to make a superhero, or if I can, multiple superheroes. I'm a comics nerd, sort of like a half comics nerd. I know a lot of comic stuff. I'm really excited for everything coming out this month in July with Superman and Fantastic Four because I love both. Like the trailers for Superman makes it look like a real Superman movie, not a Zack Snyder movie. And for Fantastic Four, I'm just excited to see Fantastic Four. I feel like they've been done really dirty in movies. So if those movies aren't good, I will probably lose my mind. A lot of superheroes are based on animals. So let's just look up weird animals. Most animals are probably already taken. Like, let's see. Japanese spider crab. That's probably a hero. Japanese spider crab man. The Crab Man is probably a hero or a villain. The Goblin Shark, the Naked Mole Rat Man. That's pretty good. That's really funny. Capybara Man. Ooh, wait. Oh, that one's actually good. How about? Hear me out, guys. A narwhal. How's that sound to you? That sounds kind of genius. What would the origin be? Because I feel like that's pretty important. Because if this could be like I'm a human narwhal mutant of sorts, where you actually have like a horn sticking out of your skull, or is it just a suit? I want it to be a human. Oh my goodness, the horn to body ratio is insane. I can relate. It's really, really, really thin. What do I want to do with this? Because going forward, the gender kind of matters for the design. All right, flippy coin. What should I say? Heads is lady. All right, the narwhal is a lady. I only ever draw men. How do I make a lady? What kind of hair? If you have a horn sticking out of your head, you probably want bangs, right? Well, mostly because I don't want to have to draw where the horn connects, because the logistics of that are not very logistical. I can talk about my history with comics. When I was a wee lad, probably like 10 to 12 area, I was big into Marvel and stuff because, that's what happens when you're that age. I got into the comics. I don't remember what I started with, because there was this comic shop 40 minutes away from my house, but every once in a while, if we were in the area, we would stop by. I really liked doing that. And then my dad, so he used to be into comics, not a lot, but a little bit, to the point where he had like this probably 50-pound box of all kinds of comics, which I guess is kind of a lot. But yeah, he just gave that to me, and that was awesome. I looked through it, and guess what? There was hundreds of dollars in there. There was a lot of good stuff. So if you don't know, Beetlejuice actually had comics that went along with the cartoon, right? And those ended up becoming rare, apparently, like hundreds of dollars on eBay. Like I think I saw one for 130, and I had like 3 of those comics, 3 or 4, which is pretty great, because I like having things. One day my dad just randomly gave me all his old Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, but there was a original Blue Eyes White Dragon, which I looked up, and it's like also hundreds of dollars, which is again really cool. I'm trying to remember what all there was. I remember there was like Superman issue 500, which was a lot of money. Batman like issue 400 or something like that. And I remember that really blowing me away, because holy moly, that's rare. Not rare, just I don't know if it was rare, but it was cool because it feels rare. It feels important. I really like this bored expression. that can go with the personality. Just like a very non-expressive character, but like still feels human, I guess. As for a suit, so what if for the arms we could have fins that become normal and stuff? Like it's a fin on the suit, but that's it. Back to what comics there were. There was like the first original 12 issues of Spawn, which is crazy. Like we're talking the original, I think I looked it up. It was like 1992 or something when it first came out. Dude, that's so cool. The original first issue of Deathstroke as well, which is also really awesome. That's all the ones that I can remember off the top of my head, but I think that's really cool. You know, I do feel sort of bad for all the flack Marvel gets, because I'm not saying it's unfair, because it's absolutely deserved. They have been slacking off, but it's less of a I dislike it and more of a I'm disappointed in it, where a lot of people just started hating it because it became popular to hate it, right? It's popular to hate the popular thing. Sure, whatever. I don't know, I never stopped caring about Marvel because I'm a comic nerd and I still enjoy seeing things like that, you know, happen. I'm not someone who dislikes things easily. I just never really stopped enjoying seeing things I like, I guess. Crazy, right? Proportions don't matter a whole lot right now. I'm just trying to design the suit. I remember back in my my Marvel phase, I came up with all kinds of pitches for stuff from comics to be adapted into the MCU. There's one that I actually still like the idea of. It was like, you know, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's that super annoying, dramatic reality show type deal. But I wanted to do that for Emma Frost, because she seems like she would, I don't know, fit that, I guess. My idea with the fins, how would that look? Kinda goofy, but the superhero is called the Narwhal, so I feel like that was gonna happen either way. You know how these animals are often lighter on the bottom, right? And then darker on the top? We can do something with that. So we can have the front be white and then the back be like a dark blue or a black. Obviously, this is her main weapon. She doesn't need like a utility belt or anything. She just dives head first into her enemies. So we can just, we could give her like springy shoes or something. I don't know. Or she can fly. Should she be able to fly as a narwhal? Yes, she absolutely should. Let's think about the universe. Because how superhero do I want it? Do I want this to be like the narwhal is the only superhero in existence, or do I want this to be more like any comic universe where there's a million and a lot of them do this exact same thing? I guess if I'm designing multiple heroes, then it should just be a normal universe like that. Should she have a tail? Because I mean, you know, bitten by a radioactive narwhal, you would grow a tail, right? It's just a basic whale tail. You can now stab and bash. Another pitch I had was, it was before Ironheart came out. It was, oh god, it was a long time ago. It was before like even the Disney Fox merge. I would say I was probably 11 or 12 when I came up with this, but Hood, almost said head, not the superhero I'm talking about. Yeah, I thought Hood would be fun to do in some kind of way, but I wasn't really sure how. And so, like, my whole idea was that he just kind of works for Kingpin, which he's done in the comics. He's worked with, against, whatever, around Kingpin. So it's no biggie. But yeah, I just thought that would be really fun. Just because Hood was one of those characters was pretty obscure at the time, at least. Now he's become more known because he's shown up. I thought that'd be cool. You know me and my neck things. I love these. I don't know why, but I find them really fun. What else is needed? Because I don't want to just do a basic old skin suit, because that's what so many female superheroes have. She could have armor, I guess, somewhere, but where? Wait, yes, hold on. She just throws herself at her enemies, right? So she needs, like, armor all over. I'm gonna keep the fin thing, because that's fun. I keep getting really off track. So another pitch I had was a Scorpion movie, because this was, the Sony Marvelverse was still starting out, so it's okay. Oh yeah, this is a narwhal. Wait, it's kind of perfect because this is like a mouth, right? The top lip, the bottom lip. Yeah, I'm so smart. Okay, so that's a very unique design. All right, so what else do I need to design? I mean, her primary weapon is on her face, so I don't think I have to worry about that. I've gotta come up with like a proper design. I think I already said all my pitch ideas. It's not really a pitch, but it's just something I really want. Please, for the love of God, give me a Midnight Suns movie. You have Moon Knight. You were supposed to have Blade. You have Elsa Bloodstone. Please, I'm begging you, give me Midnight Sun. You have Man-Thing. You have Werewolf. Please. Now this is a superhero. She does it for money. What else do I have to talk about in terms of superhero stuff? I'm much more familiar with Marvel than DC, unfortunately. I wish I got into DC, but, well, I didn't. Since I'm really excited for Fantastic Four, I can talk about that. I obviously really want it to be good. Fantastic Four has done a very good job at making everyone think the Fantastic Four sucks. But they don't. They're so good. And people don't see that. I hope Mole Man somehow maybe either shows up or is mentioned in some way. I really want him to exist canonically in the MCU in some way. So the idea of him existing just makes me so happy. I mean, look at him. Isn't he adorable? I hope Franklin is actually a mutant. Now, I don't know how popular of an opinion that is, but the mutants are probably just about to be introduced to the MCU. It would probably work pretty well, I might add. I know it's a little iffy on whether he's a mutant or whatever, because he kind of stopped being a mutant. I don't know. I don't remember all the logistics of everything. And then I also hope if Robert Downey Jr. Doom shows up, I hope they kill him. I hope he dies in that movie so I don't have to actually see him exist as Doctor Doom, because he's not supposed to. I hate that. I really hate that casting. It's so wrong. It's so evil, but not in a fun Doctor Doom way. No, it's evil in a I hate this way. I want Fantastic Four to get a sequel with Annihilus or something, because I feel like Annihilus and the Negative Zone would be a cool addition to everything. Other than that, I mean, it's just because it's Fantastic Four, I guess. I am kind of worried for Secret Wars for a lot of reasons. One of them being the fact that, Secret Wars had like dozens of years to set itself up to like have a bunch of different characters and not have it be weird to mush them together, right? There's no well-established characters that are super important for Secret Wars in the MCU yet, which is worrying, because like, okay, so what do we need? We need the Maker. The Maker's probably gonna end up being Miles Teller, because that just makes the most sense. Because, you know, he's the worst Mr. Fantastic we've gotten in live action. And that's not his fault. I feel like he could play a really good Maker. It's just that Fant Four Stick was written so poorly. It's so sad. There's also like kind of limitations where Secret Wars mushed 616 and 1610, which are already universes pretty well established. And well, guess what? We don't have that in the MCU. You could argue that the Fox X-Men universe, it'll probably end up being the Fox X-Men universe, albeit because they're the most prominent side universe. The Fox X-Men universe is most likely going to be the one that 616 is colliding with, which also the movie 616, not the comic 616. And that's fine. It's just that they don't have a Maker. I hardly know her. Anyways, they don't have a Maker. They need to figure out how to get some kind of Maker, probably Miles Teller. Doesn't have to be connected to the Fant Four Stick, but we need to establish him in the Fox X-Men universe. Or they just have him come in from a third universe or something, I don't know. Because, you know, believe it or not, the Maker is incredibly important. I have a few things to say. Are we gonna do a Valeria Richards? Because we kind of need a Valeria for that. Which is probably fine. We could just do Franklin, being Doom's favorite, but that also, if Valeria ever comes in, she won't have anything to do, and it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like Secret Wars is a weird one to do right now. And I know they were like, oh crap, we gotta not do Kang all of a sudden. Thanks, Johnny. And then it kind of really fell apart fast because like they wanted to do the Multiverse War and then go into Secret Wars, but now they have to introduce a bunch of stuff. We also don't have a Molecule Man, although I do have a solution for that. So you know who was just recently introduced as the most powerful character in the universe? Or that we know of in the universe? Good old Bobby, good old Sentry. In Secret Wars, Molecule Man plays a sort of battery for the new universe, for Battle World. And so what I'm thinking is that, one, it nerfs him, or they could just use him to show how powerful God King Doom becomes, you know, that kind of stuff. Or he's not in the movie, but I feel like he will be in the movie. Okay, so I don't really have a lot to say about the art necessarily, which is probably what I should have said first, but whatever. I was originally going to color everything, but I kind of leave the country in a couple days. By the way, I'm recording this a while before the video is actually coming out. But yeah, I wanted to try this heavy black art style. It's not necessarily comic style. I don't know, it gave me American comic vibes, so I think that's good enough. This narwhal gave me a lot of Invincible vibes. I just decided to make Off-Brand Conquest. I should also say I'm an Invincible fan. I have all the compendiums in my room. Artistically, it's fine. Hello! It's part 2 of this video. I don't want to just do another animal. I want to do some kind of street level hero here. He might not have powers, and if he does have powers, they're not going to be very strong. So let's just come up with a face first, and then we can do powers or gimmicks or whatever. Why does my hand smell like that? It smells weird. Not like my soap, but it smells like soap, but it's not my soap. What if he's just, you know? Also, so I don't have to draw a face. Idea. Okay. So, this guy You look at him, he's just a little dude, right? Actually, what if he's not just a little dude, but he has a ghost friend? But that's not all. His ghost friend is also him. So, now hear me out, right? He is here, and he's getting sort of haunted by his future ghost. That sounds genius to me. This is... I've struck gold. I don't know why I suck at drawing women, apparently. Because I'm really liking this face shape and everything. But God forbid I can draw a decent woman. What's the story of this? Like, because I'm really like... What if they fight vampires? Like, him and his ghost together. They fight Dracula. But Dracula is actually a mafia boss. So, Marvel Rivals. Certainly, you've heard of it by now. It sort of exploded in popularity, and then everyone played it. And I was one of the ones who played it, obviously, because I like Marvel. So I played all the supports, and this is back in 2024, so there wasn't a lot of, well, there was a lot of characters, but I don't know a lot of the new characters. So I played, for support, I mostly played Loki, Invisible Woman, and then Cloak and Dagger, but I could play all of them pretty competently. For tank, I played Groot and Magneto. Groot, I really liked. There's just something about, like, controlling line of sight that I really enjoy in games, because when I used to play Apex Legends, I played Mirage, and a big part of his thing is controlling what people can and can't see, and then kind of making sure you know what they know. I think it's really cool. For DPS, I only knew Magic. That's just because I straight up only liked Magic. I tried so many characters, and Magic's the only one where I was like, okay, that's my girl. Which also, speaking of Magic, I was so happy when I found out she was in the game. I'm a bit of a Magic fan, so when I first opened the game, because I was just gonna play it with friends and stuff, I saw Magic and I realized that this isn't just an MCU game. This is like an actual Marvel game, which is really cool. I'm really happy that so many people got to learn more about the comics through that game, because I've since stopped playing it. I kind of lost interest. I made it to Diamond, and then I thought, that's it. That's all I need. I'm happy as is. Yeah, and the explosion in Magic's popularity after Rivals is amazing for me, because I feel like it almost guarantees she's gonna get a spot in the X-Men, the MCU's X-Men, or something similar in some way. Obviously, there is the New Mutants, which did technically have a live-action Magic, but, you know, the writing was questionable. I didn't like the racism. That belongs to Kitty Pryde. Other than that, I feel like Anya Taylor-Joy, because I'm pretty sure that's who played Magic, if given, like, half-decent script, could absolutely play Magic in the MCU. It's just a matter of her coming back after a movie that flopped so hard. What are all the implications of a ghost coming from the future to help your past self? Well, this guy is changing something because there's something that needs changing, I guess. I just realized that since there's a giant hole here, the hair can't. We're not gonna worry about that. He's a ghost. He doesn't abide to the usual laws of physics and that junk. So, we've got our heroes. I like this idea. This actually, I'm gonna be so honest, guys, this might become a one-shot. I'm really enjoying this one. Another good thing we got from the New Mutants is Lockheed. A live-action Lockheed. That makes me so happy, because I don't know, I just find Lockheed fun. Not really, like, essential to having a Magic or a... There's a few people who own Lockheed, or not own, but get along with Lockheed, right? Is Kitty Pryde one of them? I don't know. So we got that. We can shrink this, actually. Its design can be something... I want something very low-key. Not low-key. Low-key. I also want them to be like a wider build. Wait, actually... Oh, this is comics. I can do like one of these, right? Where it's super top-heavy, you know? And he's just a big guy. Wait, I should so do that. I'm kind of upset that I wasn't doing that before. Well, I guess the comic look for men and then the comic look for women are a lot different. And I prefer making a really buff guy as opposed to just sexualizing a woman. So I'll just keep the narwhal as is. Because I don't think I made her existence disrespectful to a lot of the population of the planet. So that's good. The little things. It's the little things in life, right? He's not just gonna be shirtless, but I'm drawing this because I don't know why I'm drawing him shirtless, because he's gonna wear a shirt. So guess he's shirtless now. Strange. Or do I want to just put him in spandex? What kind of hero is he? Because I was saying like, oh, he's very low key, and I was thinking more John Constantine rather than Daredevil. But maybe he's more like that. What can I do here? He can. Do I need to follow my default? It's so much easier to just draw super big baggy pants, you know? And then also in terms of like character design, it's not character design, but fashion, it's like you got the really loose on the bottom, really tight on the top, you know. Drawing pants like this is my addiction, I guess. I cannot stop doing this. I probably should. If I do it too much, it's just gonna be annoying and unoriginal. Yeah, so much more effort went into this page than the last page, mainly because before I was kind of budgeting my time, because, you know, I'm leaving. But here I was like, nope, I'm gonna do this. So there's so much more detail, and I really leaned into the heavy black shading because I like it. I think it's really cool. This could be a style that I adopt. It wouldn't be like my main thing I do, but it's fun to draw. There's different times where like a single brushstroke was enough to convey an entire thing. And I think that's really cool because you can tell what things are just based on the shape of the shadows. And I think that's just a really interesting way of doing it. I came up with Count Drugula, and I regretted it the entire time I drew him. I thought it was kind of funny. It's not, but at the time I did. I also came up with a proper name, Spirit Box. Now, that's a little weird. Why would you name him after a ghost hunting tool? Because he boxes. I'm so smart. Oh my god, I just got deja vu. That's weird. Anyways, what else is there to say? I mean, Count Drugula is based off Jareth from Labyrinth. I cut off the ghost's right arm and a bit of his side because I don't know what to do with it, and so I just got rid of it. And then there's that pose I decided to do. Gee whiz. I think it's correct. I'm like 90% sure I just straight up did anatomy correctly, which is weird considering normally when I do this whole video was basically just an anatomy study for me. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I was just drawing muscle the entire time, and that's good because I do think I have a much better understanding of things than I did before I started it, so go me. Yeah, I started thinking a lot more in 3D, so I think hopefully that'll mean my poses will look less flat as I do it. And it's not just like moving them within the space, it's understanding the space that they're in, if that makes sense. Because like I can draw a cylinder foreshortened. There's like these micro details that really make up the shape of like a limb or something, and you're really able to focus on that with this style of shading. You're really able to see what exactly it's supposed to be shaped like, because when you just have nothing, you can't put something on there without shadow, unless if you do like major detail and stuff and color and all that. I don't know what else there is to say. little life update. I'm about to see Superman, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna see it tomorrow on opening night. I'm so excited. I really hope it's good, and it looks like it'll be good. And there's like a non-zero chance I'll cry, so I'm excited for that. I also just watched Sinners yesterday. Ooh. Good movie. I knew about the concept and I fell in love with the concept immediately. I just never got a chance to watch it, but dude, it was really good. There's like a minor complaint I have that I wish the theming went a little deeper, and that's not to say it wasn't hit completely out of the park. I just wish there was more. And it's not in a way where I'm dissatisfied. I just wish there was more, I guess. It was really good. And then I'll be going on a plane soon, so I'll probably watch a movie there. So that's the end of the video. Yep, subscribe if you hate me. Leave a comment, leave a like. Probably do the last one first. Alright, yeah, see you next time. Bye.